I'm Devin Young. I'm the global lead of IoT. With me is Will Radcliffe. He's a client partner from NTT Data Launch. He's going to talk about how we, as one NTT, really won at a client because we could bring the power. And then the brains behind it is Fukuda-san, who is the CEO of Network Innovations. He's going to kind of walk you through the demo and what we did. So let's see, it's the end of the day. You've all been sitting. It's been a long day. Let's see a raise of hands. How many are part of a company that has made an investment in AI or are providing AI services? That's an easy one. I just want to get you to stretch because you're in this room because everyone is interested in AI. Second, how many are part of a company that have made an investment in ERP or a big platform? Okay, we have some. Excellent. Now, one of the key things is everyone's focused on the platform, but what are you feeding it? So here is one of our NTT Data IndyCar series. How many knew that NTT Data provides a technology for IndyCar? Where's Bill? There. Our Bill, I can't see with the lights. Our Bill and Bennett here. So the Smart World platform. 140 sensors on these cars, pulling millions of data in real time. And we can do predictions. So for example, as soon as a race car driver starts pushing his feet on the pedal, it can be sent to the broadcast booth. Ooh, something's going to happen. And quick, go to this car. So these are the type of things. So now imagine the platforms that you're paying money for, your ERP platforms, your ML platforms, your AI platforms, things. Imagine that it's a race car. It's going to be your differentiation to win your race against the competition. But what are you feeding as fuel to these race cars? So this one, up to 700 horsepower, special ethanol fuel. But if you're like my wife, so she ignores that little sign on when she fuels up her car that says, premium unleaded fuel only, 92 octane. What does she do? She puts in regular gas. But she's not a race car driver, so I guess it doesn't matter her. Although on times when my son sleeps in, she's a race car driver to get him to school. But think about this analogy that the fuel that you're feeding your platforms is the data. So without data, there's no AI. But where's the data coming from? It's coming from the edge. So what is the edge? So first of all, not sure what happened to the colors there, but sorry. We're not that bad at PowerPoint. But what is intelligence? Anybody care to give me a... Caroline Chan from Intel. What's intelligence?
Using Intel.
Here, give me $20 for that commercial. Sorry, go ahead, Caroline.
Using the right resources, both software and hardware, to generate the smartest on the edge.
Excellent. Intelligence comes from the Latin word intelligere. Where's Marco and our Italians? They can say it much better than me. What does that mean? It means to understand. But what are you understanding? What feeds your understanding is your sensing of the environment. You're understanding that you're sitting in a room right now waiting to go get drinks, listening to somebody on stage drone on and on about intelligence. But our understanding has to come from what is the problem that we're trying to solve with intelligence. Is it sustainability, operational excellence, like reducing downtime? I do want to ask something. How many knows what this means? You see this all the time. Anybody care to tell me what does this dynamic loop mean? We're very proud of this. At NTT, this small loop is the voice of our customers and the voice of society. This loop that goes around dynamically is consistent innovation. This is what our logo means. So for all those, now you know. So we're solving the problem society with innovation. Part of that is everything you've heard today. And on it, there's 3 parts of intelligence. First, how do I get the understanding of my environment? I need to digitize it. We define it as edge. The edge is the sensors. Think of yourself, your eyes, your ears. I'm sensing it in. We have thousands of sensors that take in the intelligence. But those sensors have to connect somewhere. So it has to come with network connectivity, private 5G, our Transitel capability of our global MVNO that covers 200 countries with a single SIM, 2G through 5G, Cat-M, narrowband, and soon to be satellite. Or narrowband, Do I need to send 10 bytes of data on a temperature sensor over a cellular network? No, I could do that on narrowband, especially if I need to get underneath a concrete slab in the basement where the physical plant is. And then edge compute. Does everything need to be sent in the cloud? A lot of our customers, they want to keep everything on-prem. Do I need to send everything in the cloud? Things that are operational. I need to make quick decisions. This machine is about to fail. Need to be done on the edge. But then the cloud is where business decisions come. So first of all, I digitize a physical environment. I'm sensing, I'm collecting the data. Second is, now I need to understand it. So I take that data and combine with all sorts of data. Data is more powerful in the presence of other data. You've seen many examples of it this week. So now I've digitized it and turned it into action in my AI ML analytics ERP platform. But that's not where it has to stop. Now that I understand, I need to prove that I understand it by taking action. So for example, my 14-year-old son, I always embarrass him. Every time I walk upstairs, all the lights are on. And every time I tell him, turn off the lights, he has not taken sustainability or conserving energy into action. So unless that happens, all the data and sensor information just becomes noise. How do you turn it into the right information in the right time and following with, for example, integration into a case management system to turn that data or intelligence into action so that you know that I do understand it. So that's why we're here today. So next, Will is going to kind of talk about a problem for a client that we solved, and then how we came together as one NTT. So here you go, Will.
All right, thank you, Devin. So I love the car analogy because we're probably
came from Mike.
Okay.
I just stole it.
We're probably going to repurpose it here. All right, so, okay, interesting. So colors are off. It is what it is. I'll speak to it. I don't think anybody can really read it. But that said, when we look at the client environment, they're being challenged day in and day out. And oftentimes, if we go back to that ERP example, we had a client where they'd just done a sizable multi-year transformation in the ERP, and guess what? I don't think they were even putting regular fuel. I think it was probably diesel, because it was basically less than a decade, right? And you couldn't do demand planning and demand forecasting. And part of that was there was a nuance. We had consignment inventory out in the field by hundreds of thousands, right? And the way it was being done, you would get Devin and Will to go out in the field and we'd basically update when we'd go see our clients. Not the best way to drive oversight, insight, and transparency after you've already done a sizable inventory investment. So obviously that's impacting their bottom line, it's impacting their entire supply chain, there's inventory bloat. How do we solve this, right? And it was something that had been on the books for a decade, and more importantly, in the past 4 years, they tried to solve it with the best consulting strategy firms in the world. And guess what? No one could do it. They tried to do it with the big telecos. No one could do it. They tried to take it on themselves, which was, you know, hey, Williot, it's got a place, right? And didn't quite work out. So ultimately, in building out the relationships in the account, they came to us and said, here's our problem, come to our lab. So we fly in Devin's crew of just technology gurus. One of them's in here somewhere, David Brebner, he's floating around here. So David and Yusuf Mai, myself and Devin, we meet the client where they're at. We meet them as one entity, walk through the lab, understand the problems and say, we've done something like this. We've got a few iterations. We have an idea of how we can build an MVP in a relatively short amount of time. And then they challenged us. They said, can you do it in 5 weeks? And we said, yeah, I think we can do it in 5 weeks. So not only did we take something purely ethereal and then build a physical product, the hardware, the software, and everything to make a MVP operational, but it was so well received that a week later, in this very room, I think in this corner over there, they debuted it at their innovation suite to rave reviews, right? And that set the stage for excellence in terms of what we can do as one NTT. And I'll go into that on the next slide just a little bit. So yes, in 5 weeks, tremendous success, but really it was on how we came together. Limited launch, pathways, data, Everybody was involved in this. Envy and I, it was a tremendous effort and showed that when we come together, we can truly solve any one of our clients' problems. It's very impressive, the speed we can move and the solutions we can provide, right? We're no longer looking myopically. We have a holistic view in terms of this is what we can enact, right? So once it was all said and done with, now they have oversight, insight, transparency related to their capabilities. They're now driving with race car fuel, and we are off to the races. And to highlight a portion of it was obviously the launch piece. Now, as part of launch, we had the artist that's formerly known as Vectorform kind of pulled into it. And there are a lot of great IoT technologists that pair well with our limited team. The beauty of that is they know how to take things from MVP and scale them into production. So we no longer have to worry about, hey, we only have 4 or 5 of these. Now we have the capability, the insights, the industrial designers, the integrated network of suppliers to do injection molding, to scale up the supply chain, to get these products to tens of thousands of our customers. So just one of the great inherent capabilities that we kind of just stumbled upon. More importantly, as we can see what's on the screen, this is not just a prop. This is actually one of our NTT production models, and it's up and running as we speak. I wish Scott was here because he would change this to green or red or orange or purple or whatever. So, but what I do want to call out in that, aside from the RFID readers, there is a heartbeat and a brain that makes all of this capable. Because if you can't capture what's out in the field today, then what are you doing, right? And that comes down to our Spectra Edge. And more importantly, it's the Spectra Edge platform. The peace of mind that we give our clients that we can now roll out tens of thousands of devices nationally, globally, everything from, in this case here, delivering, onboarding, updating, monitoring, but more importantly, the application management, and even more importantly on top of that, remote device management, leveraging our Transitel backbone to solidify us as a leader in the space. We have a great moat here, and it's an opportunity for us to really mash the gas pedal and take off here. It's a truly impressive feat that we've built here. And yes, Spectra Edge is so much more than what's on this slide, right? Everything from the far edge computing to our global service delivery. But what I do want to call out is, if it wasn't for the edge, none of this would be possible. More importantly, if it wasn't for us coming together collectively, we wouldn't be here today. So there's fast followers on this. We're going to see more and more of these types of product come out of the limited and launch relationship. And there's a lot of acceleration from the client side because these are revenue-generating products that impact our clients. More importantly, these are also great revenue-generating opportunities for NTT since we're building out an entirely new product for us to go take to market. And for now, I'm going to hand it over to Fukuda-san, and he's going to dive into the details of the Spectra Edge platform.
Thank you, Will. Yeah, so I will talk about why we are talking about edge in this AI room. So I believe many of you seen the concept video from the NTT research that about the ACES, the autonomous intervention system, closed-loop intervention system, which sits beside the patients, autonomously manage the medication to cure the patients. That is the edge computing of the world, right? So it is monitoring, running the AI model, like autonomous intelligence algorithm beside the patient, and monitoring and providing a closed loop. That is a world of how edge computing works. As Devin mentioned, there's without AI, without data, you cannot create any intelligence nor AI. So it is important that how we integrate edge story into this AI is very important and wanted to give you as a takeaway today. So Providing the edge and making the edge business in the reality is very difficult, right? So there's a lot of reality we have to face, like what is the environment? There's a diversity of the environment, hardware. How do you manage the procurement and logistics? How do you install the configured device? How do you secure the network? How do you update the patches? A lot. So it's slightly different from cloud management, which you manage few regions, cloud regions, in more automatic and DevOps way. But in the edge, there's a different environment, and a lot more, there's no local IT staff. How do we get this edge intelligent to plug into our system? So here, like I wanted to talk, this Spectra Edge platform is a platform to streamline the solution to overcome such edge digitalization hurdles. So this provides the edge platform to help develop application on top of the platform, and also with the entities global and private connectivity, such as cellular network, which spans across 190 countries. Also, as you know, NTT covers 190 countries and regions worldwide with a wireline system like SD-WAN, MPLS network, and the global internet backbone. Not only with the connectivity, but we also offer the sophisticated capability like edge as a services and service delivery and the AI operated enhanced automatic AI-enabled operations, and with the full stack managed service capabilities. So this is like how we can help give a fast lane to our partners, clients, to develop the edge services on top of our platform. And this is the example how we did it in the very short time for our actual clients. So I'd like to talk about what the capability is, right? So there's a different bunch of application or business case you can imagine on top of the edge. So first, important one is how do you distribute the sensors and collect the data from the reality, right? So edge is here, right? How do you collect the network performance or the data from where we live, or the data is generated? This is one example is we provide the sensor distribution and data collection at scale. This is an example of how NTT itself also does the internal innovation, collecting the network performance from nationwide to get all the client service experience about how clients are using the internet in Japan. And this can feed up to more the autonomous closed loop automation, autonomous networking operations to get the more intelligence to our entities' network operations, right? So our platform abstract and give the container engine to give ability to create your own application, define your agent, collect the data to feed into the cloud to visualize and capture data. We provide this distribution or the data collection infrastructure at scale. Not only the networking, but also we provide from the IoT or the edge context. We have a flexible sensor and protocol integrations. This is one of the IoT use cases, collecting the occupancy sensor to capture the office area usage during a day while we were facing the COVID, right? So in the COVID situations, you had to see where do you clean the desk used, but not all the desk was occupied during the COVID. But with this, we can guide our cleaning staff that, hey, this area was used, so you only wipe this area. Something like that, right? Or the data center environment. You may be interested to monitor the temperature and the environmental situation to overlay on top of the not really connecting necessary to connect to the BMS system and such. So a lot of connector or the industrial sensors can be connected on top of Spectra Edge to collect and also do the intelligent analytics in the cloud. And once the third use case, this is the AI. So once you collect the data, lay the foundation to collect the data collection infrastructure, and have a multiple flexible connector to integrate the various sensors and the net data. And now, you want to create your intelligence. And the intelligence will be kind of trained and built in the cloud. But now, how you utilize the edge is to also you can ship the AI model, like a trained model, to the edge to run the AI inference at the edge. Right? You can bring the computer vision AI model to the edge and then run it locally instead of sending all the video back to the cloud. So you can imagine how the edge is important to create your own edge the AI story. So how do you collect the data, train build and train your model, and how you inference the model back to the reality. So that's the cycle that we wanted to achieve. And in order to do so, it's important that not only edge is important, edge requires a connectivity to the cloud, right? So you need a compute environment, integrations, connectivity together, and we as NTT Data, we provide edge as a services. So just to summarize what we provide as a offering is that we provide the integrated capability from the NTT Data to focus on the co-innovations, focus on the outcome, work with our clients to build a solution. But solution is rapidly developed on top of our platform to, on top of the edge device and application management platform with secure connectivity to the cloud to make sure that you have a more data connectivity, edge to cloud network and securely. And also we can plug in the managed services to support your end-to-end life cycle. So this is how we provide our fast lane to our partners and clients to deliver your idea to the market. So there's various presentation today from the researcher in the early days, right? So this is the infrastructure where NTT Data can take the idea from the lab to the edge, right? Actual environment. So this is how we kind of streamline NTT's capability from basic R&D, the applied R&D to the business. This is our capability, and also we have provide as a platform. So yeah, so this is what we do, and hope so we collaborate with all of you guys, and if you're interested, please reach us out. We are very open to collaborate in any fashion about technology enablement, go-to-market, but Edge is here, and I think this is exciting domain where we can work together to be the better world.